So, I'm willing to bet that you think that DARPA only deals with things used for war, that their projects are just for war and not for domestic use. Think again. Stay tuned.
This generation being born now is the last free generation.
Hi everyone, Squirrel Bait here, and welcome to Going Sideways, where I discuss current events that affect our preparedness and our freedoms. DARPA. Oh, my favorite topic. I specialize in surveillance, so DARPA. I have an article here. It was featured on Technocracy News, but it's from The Guardian. It is dated August 2nd, 2019, and it's titled Pentagon Testing Mass Surveillance Balloons Across the U.S. Oh, we're testing them for war. No. Now keep in mind, whenever we're told about such things, there's a couple of reasons for it. One, people are going to notice. People are going to ask questions because it's going to be in our face. People are going to find out about it. So we might as well just come out and say, oh, I don't know what it is we're doing, right? The other reason is the reveal is not the newest model. It's the old one. They'll tell you what it used to be able to do, not what it can do now. Kind of defeats the point otherwise, right? Well, if we're going to put a bunch of surveillance balloons up, someone's going to notice because people fly planes, people fly on planes. They might be seen, so they're kind of backed in the corner and have to say something. That's the case here. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at this article. The U.S. military is conducting wide area surveillance tests across 6 Midwest states using experimental high-altitude balloons. You remember when we were kids? Oh, no, it's not a UFO, it's a weather balloon. Documents filed with the Federal Communications Commission reveal, which I have right here. Links to everything is going to be down below, as always, for you to look at for yourself. Up to 25 unmanned, solar-powered, they're solar-powered, balloons are being launched from rural South Dakota and drifting 250 miles through an area spanning portions of Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Missouri before concluding in central Illinois. So remember, these are solar powered, so they can be used in a grid down situation, just saying. Traveling in the stratosphere at altitudes of up to 65,000 feet, the balloons are intended to provide a persistent surveillance system to locate and deter narcotic trafficking and homeland security threats. You know, like conspiracy theorists. Link to that down below. So the key here is it's designed to do what? Persistent surveillance, narcotic trafficking, and homeland security threats. That's domestic. This is domestic surveillance, persistent domestic surveillance. The balloons are carrying high-tech radars designed to simultaneously track many individual vehicles day or night through any kind of weather. The tests, which have not previously been reported, received an FCC license to operate from mid-July until September. So it's going on right now, following similar flights licensed last year. The new balloons promise a cheap surveillance platform that could follow multiple cars and boats for extended periods. And because winds often travel in different directions at different altitudes, the balloons can hover over a given area simply by ascending or descending. It reminds me so much. Remember in 1984, the little eye thing that follows people and it would go up and down? I don't know. It's just what comes to mind. The FCC documents showed that Southcom's balloons are carrying small satellite-like vehicles housing sophisticated sensors and communication gear. One of those sensors is a synthetic radar intended to detect every car or boat in motion on a 25-mile swath beneath the balloon. In other words, this thing is AI. It's powered by AI. The balloons have advanced mesh networking technologies that allow them to communicate with one another, share data, and pass it to receivers on the ground below. So they can function, what, as swarms? Remember the little insect ones that can function together? Yeah. Remember, DARPA doesn't skimp on the tech when it comes to their projects, right? So think about everything you know about AI and do the math. The FCC filing notes that this network includes video information that suggests that the balloons might also carry a Sierra Nevada video capture system called Gorgon Stare, which I believe I've talked about before, but I have a little information right here, regardless. This wide area surveillance system comprises 9 cameras capable of recording panoramic images across an entire city simultaneously. Now, this is information that is known. Imagine what this thing really, well, these things really do. Think about what they must really do. Also, none of the parties involved would say whether the Midwest vehicle data would be deleted, stored, or passed on to other federal or local agencies. In other words, it's gathering data during the tests. Well, what's it doing with that data? Picture it now. We're going to test this indefinitely. Think about it. Come on. Come on. So let's take a look here. We have some information on this Gorgon Stare. Link to this also, as always, down below. This is dated July 1st, 2014, and it's from, where did I get this from? Did I get it from the corporation itself? Yeah, looks like I did. sncorp.com. Press release. Gorgon Stare is the Department of Defense's remotely controlled aircraft-based wide area persistent surveillance system known as WAPS. W-A-P as in Paul, S as in Sam. Aircraft-based wide area persistent surveillance system designed and built by the Sierra Nevada Corporation. Gorgon Stare includes day and night persistent wide area motion imagery capability. It was deployed in Afghanistan, so it was tested there. And more information on it right here for you. I also have here, this is from DARPA.mil, adaptable lighter than air, known as ALTA. The goal of the Adaptable Lighter Than Air program is to develop and demonstrate a high-altitude, lighter-than-air vehicle capable of wind-borne navigation over extended ranges. The balloons can fly at altitudes of more than 75,000 feet, more than 75,000 feet. While they do not have independent propulsion, the ALTA vehicle is designed to navigate by changing altitude and thus taking advantage of the different wind profiles aloft. A state-of-the-art winds aloft sensor was also being developed on the program, which is intended to provide real-time stratospheric wind measurements. Just so you know. So again, realize that while they're testing this thing, they're collecting data. Okay. With these things up in the air, and again, they can communicate with each other, right? I guess there's no more hiding in the woods. If you think you're going to hide in the woods, I got news for you. Remember the things I did about detecting heartbeats and all this stuff they can do? Yeah, now they can just, you don't even need drones. You just fly these things around, right? Yeah, persistent. They park them up there to keep the area covered. There's no more hiding in the woods. So I'm back to wondering about aluminum foil suits. Just, I don't know. It's just things that cross my mind. But seriously, those of you out there in engineering, there's some money to be had for you. Anti-surveillance technology. Seriously. Aluminum foil aside, any of you in the engineering field, there is some serious money to be made on anti-surveillance technology for citizens. Seriously. And just saying. Just saying. Not saying I would be your number one customer, but I'm just saying. Thank you for watching, and as always, question everything. Shh. Just a reminder. There's certain things I cannot talk about. So, down below you will also find links to BitChute and my Riku blog. On my blog, I can post more than just videos. Check it out. No account needed to view. Links down below.